What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? What in the world did we just witness? OMG, OMG, guys. The playoffs is here. Game 2 is here. And the Indiana Fever did something that we thought was a possibility, but in such a dramatic fashion, it shocked me. For the first time since 2015, the Indiana Fever have won a WNBA playoff game, and they have done it in huge fashion, taking down the Atlanta Dream. Final score 77-60. I got Mama on the line. Mama, what in the world did we just witness?
Horrible game. Atlanta, what happened to you? They was not prepared for Indiana being hungry for this win. Indiana was hungry and determined not to lose this playoff game. They wanted to make sure that they could go at least take it to a game 3. At least about, they didn't want the series to end 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
They were aggressive from the very beginning, and they remained aggressive. And I will have to say that I thought the refs gave them way too many foul calls. I really do.
Gave the Fever?
Yeah. They gave the Fever way too many foul calls. Some of them was like ticky-tack calls, but they weren't giving Atlanta anything. And the reason why is because Indiana was aggressive. So the aggressor tends to get the calls.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be that way, but we've seen it in not only basketball games, but just sports in general. The aggressors tend to get all the ups, up. When you talk about it being an upswing, they tend to get the upswing. And that's what I did see, especially in that second half. I saw so many foul calls on Atlanta favoring the Fever, but when it came to the other, I saw so many fouls. Like, wait a minute, Aaliyah Boston kept hooking. She hooks.
She does it all the time, Mama.
She hooks. All the time. And I'm like, wait a minute, can you see that hook? Did you see how she hooked Bree? Come on now. But that's the stuff that frustrates me. I understand that Indiana was the aggressor, and they were the ones that were going to get most of the calls. But you can't just give them all the calls like that. You just can't do that in a playoff game. Indiana did what they needed to do. Their fans did what they needed to do to get them there, to make sure that they would win this game. By the end of the second quarter, it was over with, basically. Atlanta had no energy. They had no answer for the way the Fever kept playing fast-paced, and they were in rhythm. You couldn't take them out of their rhythm, and therefore they couldn't guard them in no kind of way. And then Atlanta missed so many baskets.
Mama, to start the game, I was like, okay, Fever could possibly win, but they're not going to be able to shut down Atlanta. I tell you, Mama, really good defense by the Indiana Fever, but I gotta say, Atlanta allowed the referees to get in their heads, and they played horrible. I've said it before, and people think my take is different based on whoever it was.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the referees gonna ref, right? Mm-hmm. You're not gonna like some of the whistles. You're not gonna like how stuff happens. However, you do not let the refs dictate the game. And to me, it felt like to start off, first of all, they was missing shots left and right.
Yep.
And we've seen Ryan Howard make contested threes, right? We've seen Alicia Gray make contested shots. That's not a unknown thing, but they were missing them, which got them frustrated. And then the referees was calling them for certain fouls and whatnot, and they were everybody from Bree Jones, Bree Jones complains, to Alicia Gray, who was way more upset than I kind of have ever really seen her be. Like, she was extremely upset.
Yes, she was.
To the point where I was happy that Carl Semesco, towards the end of the game, he just took both Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard out, put them both on a bench, and just let them just let them sit there for the rest of the game, because they just so frustrated, so upset, and
it took them out of their game. Yeah, but again, because the refs did such a poor job of just calling everything, instead of them fighting against the Fever and the refs, if they would just focus on the Fever, they would have had a chance to get back in the third quarter. But you're not going to get back in it if you're going to keep missing your shots. You're not going to get back in it if you're going to keep missing your shots. Mm-hmm. You know, it's one thing to complain about not getting the foul calls, but you can't complain when you're not shooting. That ain't on the refs. That's on you.
Yep.
And even Brittany Griner, she came in, I'm like, you ain't doing nothing, girl.
That's why I said Brittany Griner should play less minutes, because Brittany Griner is super, super ineffective.
Yeah, she's not.
She just is. I mean,
to have that big frame and not do what you're supposed to do at that rim, or even mid-court, you should have advantage of every single player that come down there. Come on now.
Yeah.
And it's like she didn't have no energy. The whole team didn't have no energy. And it's like, how do you all expect to combat a team that's being this aggressive if you don't have no energy?
Yeah. Because
there's no way for you to win.
Because Kelsey...
And you can see that they felt defeated. They let their emotions get the best of them. Mm-hmm. And I've said that before. We cannot let our emotions get the best of us. Even if you're down 20, it was, I think, 8 minutes left. There was still enough time for y'all to get back in this game and come back with a win. But you're not going to get back into the game if you don't, if you let your emotions get the best of you. Mm-hmm. If you upset every play that don't go your way, and if you cannot make your baskets, why you can't make your baskets? We know you can play this game. We know you really should have beat Indiana, but you're not going to beat them the way they played tonight. There's no way for you to beat them.
No, because I just got to say, Mama, Stephanie White, she had some clipboard magic today. Mm. What a game plan. What a game plan for the Indiana Fever, taking it straight to the Atlanta Dream. Atlanta is a physical team. They enjoy being physical, all that good stuff. And Indiana was like, okay, well, we're gonna bring that physical nature straight to you. Mm-hmm. And we're gonna feed the post. Aaliyah Boston's gonna get hers, and we are going to make sure Kelsey Mitchell gets hers as well. And I love the play of Kelsey Mitchell. Her ability to just knock down that 3-point shot and just give them the continuous sparks throughout the game that they needed. Indiana played great in this one, right?
They did.
At times, yes, they got a little turnover happy at times. Absolutely, that happens with teams. But regardless of what Atlanta did, Indiana played the same way.
Yep.
They played super aggressive on the both the offensive and defensive end. And if you saw the way they were playing defense, Mama, it was like they knew that Atlanta could knock down 3-point shots, and you saw how far they were going out to guard the 3-point shot. Like they
They did. They knew the plan was if they can prevent the 3-pointers, they would have an easier a chance to win, and they could take them out of their rhythm, because they do. Atlanta shoots a lot of 3-pointers, and Ryan Howard, she lived by those 3-pointers. Mm-hmm. So when you take her out of that, it's almost no chance. And if Alicia Gray don't get going, how y'all gonna win? Yeah. There's no way for you to win.
But
because Nas, she feeds off of them.
Yeah, and you saw how Nas was getting frustrated too. Like it wasn't just that the Indiana Fever took Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard out of their game, right? Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard, they had like 20 plus points the game before. Today, Alicia Gray had 9 points. 9 points, 4 of 16 from the field.
Because she kept missing everything.
Everything, Mama. It was like,
I was like, what is going on?
I thought there was a lid on the rim, especially in that second quarter. And I was like, okay, maybe something's wrong with that side of the court. Let's see how the second half happens.
It didn't matter.
And it was just as bad. I was like, man. Ryan Howard, 10 points. Naz Hillman, she was so frustrated in this game. And yes, was there one call that, like, she really didn't foul and then she got the foul.
I know.
And another one where I think it was aerial powers against, what was that? I can't remember. Anyway, there were fouls that were called that shouldn't have been called, and fouls that were not called that should have been called. And Naz Hillman was also severely out of her game because of just nagging the refs, talking, just complain, waving of the arms, and it's just like complain. At some point, you just gotta be quiet, put your head down, and just play. If the refs make a bad call and you're upset about it, just smile at them and move on, because you hurt yourself. Yep. The Indiana Fever, there was some bad calls that they got too. But
it wasn't that many of them.
It wasn't that many. It wasn't that many. But
no, I'm being honest with you.
It wasn't.
They wanted Indiana to win. So this is my issue with the WNBA. I don't like games like this when you give the team who you want to win the upper hand by giving those excess calls. I hate that with a passion. I don't care what team it is. So they won on the backs of the refs. That's how they won. And they took advantage and just became more and more aggressive and took the Atlanta completely out of their game. And then I thought what got me the most was that fan that was talking to Alicia Gray. Bro, why you got to do that? Why you got to mess with her? I saw they escorted them out, but my point is, can't you just leave that alone? Can't you leave the players alone? Let the players on the floor play. You stay out of it as a fan. You don't need to be talking to the player on the floor. You see she upset, and now you're going to try to make her more upset by talking to her? How do you think she's supposed to respond? I'm just asking, how do you think she's supposed to respond? So that's the part that upset me in the third quarter when I saw where the refs were going. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So y'all going to just give them the game because they are the more aggressors. So any call, whether you it's a bear, where they barely touch them or they didn't touch them or it seemed like it, you're going to just call it anyway. But on the other end, you won't give them no calls. Don't give them no calls. Aaliyah Boss is hooking like she want to hook. You don't see none of that. And then they were down there battling Bree and her. And remember when at the end they were tussling when they had to do the jump ball? Mm-hmm. I was like, come on now. Come on. We've said all season that the refs have to do better. And especially in a playoff season, they have to do better. Because you have the players, I would say 25% of the players win in your hand. You can affect them winning or losing by your calls. So I think they need to become impartial and stop this nonsense by doing the favorites what they want. The WNBA needed the Fever to win at least this one game. Now, if they come in on Thursday the same way, they may win again. But that'll be an Atlanta Floyd. So you'll understand the difference. You know what I'm saying? You'll know that that's a true win and no effect from the refs. That's my point. We don't need no effects from the refs. Just ref the game. And let the players leave it all on the floor. That's what we want to see in a playoff. We don't want your hands nowhere in it. These players have worked too hard to get to this point to let the refs take it away like this. I
hear you, Mama.
I know you hear me, but I'm still saying, like I said, 25%.
Yeah.
They are responsible. They are responsible for 25% of what happens in a playoff game when they won't ref it correctly or when they ref it one-sided.
But I gotta say though, Mama,
I know.
Even with
that, they could have won.
They could have won.
They could have won if the coach would have been able to get them calmed down in their emotions. When your emotions are high, my emotions are high right now. When your emotions are high, you don't tend to do what you need to do because you get out of control.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's no way to bring you back in control, to whether it's your breathing, you need to calm down, or when he put them on the bench, it was too late then to sit them down then because the game was over then. Literally, the game was over.
Yeah.
But if he would have did that, maybe throughout the quarters, to give them a break and say, "Come on, take a breather." Even though they were losing, take a breather because he needed them to be at their best, and they couldn't be at their best because they were constantly frustrated.
I wish Tahina Pau would have gotten more minutes early in the game. I think you're right about like having them on the bench a little bit more, especially in that first half when the frustration started. Put them on a bench and say, "Hey, calm down. It's fine. We still are in this." And they were in it. They were in it throughout the game.
But when they got past that, I think it was like 17-point lead, it was just like almost over. Literally, it was like, they can't. Once you get past that 15 points and you're playing aggressive and you're making your shots, it's almost impossible to win a game in that kind of atmosphere. It's almost impossible. Once you get past that 15 points and you just steamrolling, the other team is going to have a hard time coming back unless they calm it down and make their shots. Make your shots. You got to make your shots.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that more. I can't say it hard enough. You got to make your shots. As many fouls that was called, if they would have made even half of the shots that they attempted, this would have been game down the stretch.
Yeah, it would have been better. Like they shot 26% from the 3-point line. Like that's
what is that?
That's terrible. Whereas the Fever shot 42% and 42% overall. And so like, hey, you got to make your shots. But shout out to the Indiana Fever for taking it to them, man. They took it to them. They had a really awesome game plan, and hey, they benefited from that home court advantage, and we'll see what happens in Game 3.
And that's why, remember when I said Sunday that it was always a chance of Indiana winning because they were at home. And their crowd give them so much energy.
Their crowd was in it, man. I tell you, they had a red out today. And basically everybody in the crowd was wearing red. And they were in that game, gave this team a ton of energy. And that's why home court matters.
Advantage.
That's why it matters.
Yeah, it does matter. And that's why when you're at home and you can't win, there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So they should have won. You at home, you should be winning every home game, especially in the playoffs now. Come on. You got your people behind you. Whereas the other team is fighting you and the crowd. Because it was so loud up in there, sometimes you couldn't even hear the whistle blow.
Yeah, and that's what you want in a playoff atmosphere, and you at home. That's what you want, and everybody was feeding into it. Aerial Powers, she was absolutely. She brought that energy in today's game. Like she didn't score a ton, but she rebounded. She brought energy, and she was a spark plug for this team. And sometimes there's stuff more important than just points. Brianna Turner was also someone who gave some really good minutes. Yes, she missed that fast break layup, and I was like, girl, what in the world? But she gave some fantastic minutes for this team.
Yes, she did.
And those two players were huge for the Indiana Fever, right?
Well, I want to say everybody that stepped on the floor did a great job.
They did, yeah.
That's the ultimate difference.
Yeah.
When all your players, when you step on that court,
they all made an impact.
She said, "You better play."
Mm-hmm.
She said, "You better play." Get on out here and play.
And
you got to win this game, and we all got to do it together. That's what she told him.
And speaking of playing, Mama, the rookie, Michaela Timpson, in the fourth quarter when she made that bucket, like literally the whole arena, it felt like, okay, in the fourth quarter, really awesome ending by the Fever. I think it was like a 7-0 run to end the third quarter, and the fourth quarter starts and like, okay, the Atlanta Dream are gonna get it together, but then we see Michaela Timpson score early in the fourth quarter, and it was like, oh, y'all, it's over. It's over. Like, right, she ended up posting up Nas Hillman and backed her down and made a tough and one bucket and got to the free throw line. And I was like, yeah, it's over. It's over. Even the rookie is stepping up, backing down a vet, making her presence known. Awesome footwork down low by the rookie. I thought that was a fantastic and one, and that was the end of the game. That really was. In the first minute of the fourth quarter, that was the end. That was the end.
Because Stephanie White found a way to get them all locked in.
Yes.
That's what you need as the coach. You've got to find a way to get every player that steps on that floor that you are a winner today. And every play that you do is towards us getting a win. So nobody can be lax. Nobody can be daisical to play like they don't care. It was none of that. It was none of that. And I like I said, I give it to them that they played their game. They played their game. I just don't like the part where the refs continuously do this. It's not like they do it for one or two. They just continue to do it through the whole game. And it's at fault for Atlanta to let them get under their skin like that and cause them to play ineffectively, cause them not to be able to defend an aggressive team. Or even Natasha Howard, she hadn't been playing that well the last couple games. Even she got involved today. I was like, oh, Natasha said she got to play today. She can't be lackadaisical today. She had to play today. Okay? And she did.
She was on it.
So, hey, when you get them all locked in, you can't help but to win.
Yeah, locked in, aggressive. Locked in. Yep. From beginning to end, and hey, you get the dub. You get the dub, and shout out to the Indiana Fever for making it happen. But Atlanta Dream, you gotta figure that stuff out. You gotta figure it out, man. Because you about to get got in game 3 if you don't step up.
It's playoff time. What they say, ain't no time like the present. You don't play like it's a tomorrow. You play like this is the only game that matters. That's the way you play playoff games. It's the only game that matters. The extra pressure that Indiana had was if they lost, that was the end of the season. So they had that extra pressure. But the game on Thursday is anybody's game, and who wants it most? Who wants it who wants it to the point that they're gonna step up and play the game like it needs to be played against their opponents? Who's gonna do that? So we shall see.
We gonna see. All right, y'all. That was me and Mama recapping the game, and hey, it is what it is. Ultimately, you control your own destiny, and for the Atlanta Dream, they allowed the Indiana Fever to control their destiny and got handed the L on the road. We'll see what happens. But guys, it is what it is. Shout out to the Fever. Terrible dream. You got to figure that stuff out. We're going to see what happens. But I guarantee you, game 3 is going to be a movie, Mama. It's going to be a movie. And if the Indiana Fever can play like they played today,
I know.
Whatever Stephanie White told them, if she do the same thing, we might see the Indiana Fever take down the Atlanta Dream in game 3.
Upset in the first round.
And hey, anybody can get got. I think that would be a shocking thing. However, Indiana's a really good team with really good players that are locked in that want to win now. They believe. And
playing with heart. They playing with heart.
Yeah. And
that's all it's about.
Belief and heart, that's a terrible drug. You can find a lot of success with just those two things.
Mm-hmm. That's certainly true.
So true. All right, guys. That was the game. Final score 77 Indiana, Atlanta 60. Series tied 1-1. We're headed to Atlanta on Wednesday or Thursday. We'll see what happens. Guys, thank y'all for rocking with us. Mama, thank you so much. I know I told you was going to be on for like 5 minutes, but this has been 25 minutes because you got going. So I
told you, I sometimes when your emotions get into it, it's the same thing for me.
She got going, so it's not totally my fault that she was on for so long. But all right.
It didn't feel like that long though.
It didn't. But Mama, I paused the Las Vegas Seattle game, but I'm looking at the score right now. 32 Las Vegas, Seattle 29. Wild. I'm gonna go to the start of that game. I'm gonna watch it, and we're gonna talk about that later. Not live, but we're gonna talk about it later. All right. Thank you, Mama, for joining.
All right, babe. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
And thank you all awesome people for rocking with me for the quick stream as we talked about the game. Hey, shout out to the Fever, man. Shout out to the Fever because, hey, here's the thing. Referees, sure, they make an impact. But at the end of the day, you got to show up. And you got to punch fear in the face. Punch the other team in the face and keep punching throughout the entire 40 minutes. And that is exactly what the Indiana Fever did. And so, hey, man. The better team won tonight, and the better team was the Indiana Fever. We will see how the Atlanta Dream figures out what in the world is going to happen. Valerie, did you not listen to Mama's commentary for Game 1? Mama was mad about Game 1, about how many fouls were called, and she was upset about how the refs inserted themselves in Game 1 too. So, yeah. Watch her commentary for Game 1, and then you'll hear what she has to say. All right? Just watch. Actually watch the shows, and you'll see what she said. So, yeah. All right? Marge says, Quita, no one is going to give the Fever credit ever. Who's not giving them Fever credit? The Fever won. They were the better team. They came out super aggressive from start to finish. They had a fantastic defensive game plan by playing up the entire game. Dog, what's there not to get credit for? They won. The better team tonight won, and the better team was the Indiana Fever. It's kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult to win if you are shooting atrocious, not just from the 3-point line, but also from the free throw line as well. And that's what the Atlanta Dream did. Keenan, thank you so much for the super chat. It is a blue heart. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for your support. All right. That's all I got to say. All right, now let me go and watch the Vegas versus Seattle game, and we'll talk about that likely tomorrow. Again, thank you so much for rocking with me. If y'all could, please make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend that Quita and Mama is doing post-game commentary. So, all right. We might see Seattle get Las Vegas. We thought that Seattle didn't stand a chance, but it looks like home court advantage is an advantage for a reason. Hey, if Seattle can pull off this win, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Amazing. Amazing for game 2. If we can get 2 upsets. Just saying. Anybody can get got. Respect the motto. I can care less who wins. I want to see good basketball, and I want to see the better team lose because it's just funner that way. It's just a whole lot funner that way. I'm just saying. All right. See y'all in the next one. Until next time. Bye-bye.